coming at you live with another installment of How to End a Lick on the Right Freaking Note. This is volume number 21. And today, I'm killing a couple of birds with one stone here. Yes, I've got, a lick going here across the chord pattern. And we're ending on chord tones. But the other part of this was how to take a simple repetitive lick and move it across the strings following the pentatonic scale shape, whichever one you're on. And today, today we're in the key of A minor pentatonic once again. And I'm using my backing track in A number 1, which the AI company decided to call the Guitarist Dream Track. Stupid name, but hey, it was an experiment last year, so I'm leaving the video named as it is. Okay, so look, take a look. Let's talk about a couple things here. Here's the old dry erase board. I am using the first section of that backing track. As you can see, look, I've got a little 2-bar pattern that basically goes from A minor to F. It repeats 3 times, and I have a lick for each one of those as I move it across the strings, and I end on a chord tone of F. And real quick, the chord tones of F are F, A, or C. Take a look. If you don't know that, if you just look at your cowboy chords, first position chords, and you look, if you know your notes, you can see the notes in an F chord are F, A, or C. Safe, no stand on. So there's that part. The last part of that progression in the loop is E minor to G, and I end each lick there on a chord tone of G, which would be G, B, or D, and again, you can look at an open G chord and see what those notes are, and you should know that. So yeah, once again, you can't just play a lick and stop it and hope that it sounds good at the end. You gotta know what you're doing. What else can I tell you? Oh yeah, I'm using the home pentatonic, I like to call it. I call it pentatonic number 1 in the key of A. I'm way up at the 17th fret, and I just stayed there. But you could actually pull these ideas off with any pentatonic shape. But let's use this one because everybody knows it. All right, now, let me get this out of the way. Here's the gist of this thing, this repetitive lick. Let me just play it first. It's the first one. I'm using the E and B strings up there in the 17th position. I'm doing this. There's the first part of it. Each one of those, that's a 16th notes, 1 in the end, all right? So I've got 3 beats worth of that, and then I resolve it at the end. So what am I doing there? Well, first off, I've got my index finger planted on the high E string at 17, okay? And I pick that note, and I hammer to 20 and pull off. Then I hammer next door to the B string 20. And I do that 3 times, so I'm only picking one note. And it seems like I'm picking up on it. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Then I finish it off with 2 more notes. I'm going to hit the high string 17 there, and then I'm going to go to 20, and I'm going to push it up to an A note if I'm resolving it. Well, it works for either. It works for either. It works for the F chord because that note when you push it up becomes an A note, which is a chord tone of, that's a chord tone of F. If I were to resolve it to G, check this out, if I were to resolve that lick to G, I would probably do this. That's a half-step bend, that's 19 on the B string. If I were to resolve it to F, one way you could do it is this. That's kind of pretty, right? I played 18 on the B string, which is an F note. So there's that one. Now let's go on, let's move the lick over. I'm going to do the same lick on the B and the G strings like this. Check it out. Now did you hear that last note there? That's the flatted 5 there. That note there is an E flat. Sounds cool though, so I'm still doing the same move. So you see my point here is you can move a lick across the strings physically. You can play the same little fingering on different strings. Just follow the scale shape. But that sounds kind of cool, don't you think? So that was B string I picked 17, hammered to 20, and pulled back off. Then I hammered to 20 on the G string. And that was, again, that's one beat. 1 E and up, and I did it 3 times. 1 E and up, 2 E and up, 3 E and up. And then to finish it off, if I wanted to resolve it to F, I'd do something like this. 1 E and up, 2 E and up, 3 E and up, 4 and 1, 2, 3. So I hit, there at the end there, I hit 17 and 18 on the beat. So that's a nice one. Let's see. If I wanted to resolve this one to G, I could do a couple of things. Let me just give you some examples. Same lick. I ended that one with the B string 19, bent up a half step to make a G. You could also resolve it to a G chord tone this way. That was 19 on the G string, so that works. Okay, what else? Let's keep going. I mean, so there's options. As long as you know what the chords are underneath you, and you know the lick stops on whatever chord is underneath you, you've got to end it on a chord tone, you should. Okay, let me move it over one more time. And I'm following the scale shape, the shape of the pentatonic in that area. So now I've got this. Now, what did I do there? I started on the G string, 17, and I hammered the 19 and pulled back off. Then I hammered to the D string 19. So there's our little one bar, or one beat, 16th note pattern. 1 E and up, 2 E and up, 3 E and up. And then to finish it off, if I wanted to resolve to F, I would probably do this. So I played there, to resolve it, I played 17 on the G. And then I played 19 on the D string, which is an A note. The chord tone of F. The video's getting kind of long, but let me talk about this. Let me do the same lick again and resolve it to a chord tone of G. Here's an easy one. That time I went, at the end there, I played... very last part there, I played 17 and 19 on the G, which is C and D. And D is a chord tone of G. So there you go. So that's basically it in a nutshell. So twofold here. We've got a lick that you can move across the string, so you can increase your lick vocabulary without really straining your brain. You just move it over. Follow the fingering of the pentatonic shape that you're using, and you've got that, but make sure you resolve the lick on a chord tone. And don't forget, most of our licks are 2 bars long, 2 measures long. That's 8 beats. If you're just getting started out, play 8th notes most of the time, 2 notes on a beat. That's what a lot of this is. Of course, I've got 16th notes today. Don't sue me, right? 16th notes are 4 notes on a beat. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So you got to lock into the groove, but. When you get started, keep things simple. But yeah, you got to know how to end a lick. You got to know how to end it on the right note, or you're going to sound like a dummy. And that's why I'm here. I sounded like a dummy when I started, so I'm trying to prevent that worldwide. I don't want anybody to sound like a dummy. All right, so that's it. It's me, the Rock Doctor. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, order me a pizza, find me a bass player, and I guess that's it. I am out of here.